Good morning, students. Today we are going to do the poem No Men Are Foreign by James Kirkup. So, James Kirkup was a prolific poet and translator. His work includes several dozen poetry collections, 6 volumes of autobiography, and over 100 monographs of original work and translations. He was a skilled writer of haiku and tanka. So, let's begin the poem. Remember, no men are strange, no country is foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes like ours. The land our brothers walk upon is earth like this, in which we all shall lie. So here, beneath here means under all uniforms. Here, uniform refers to military of different countries. So in this line, the poet says that no men are strange and no country is foreign. So he is attempting to remove the borders from the earth which have been erected to separate different countries. Then only no country will be foreign. We will feel every country as our land, where and when there will be no borders. Everyone will be free to move around. The poet wants to say that the entire earth is one and all the people who live on this earth belong to one human race. Then he says that inside the uniforms worn by the soldiers of different countries, the human being is the same. God has made all of us in a similar way, all breathe in the same way. Then he says that all the soldiers are our brothers. We will walk upon the same Mother Earth, and upon our death shall lie in the grave in the same earth. So let's find out the rhyme scheme here. As we can see, there no word is rhyming, so there's no rhyme scheme. So this poem is written in a free verse. And here another poetic device that we can find out is the alliteration. Body breathes, B sound is here, which we, W sounds. This is alliteration. Here, soldiers of this country is compared to the soldiers of other countries. So here, this is metaphor here. And remember, word is repeated in the whole poem. So that's why it is repetition. Whenever you find a word to remember in the stanza, you will write down there repetition. They too, aware of sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvest, by war's long winter starved. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. So they refers to those people who belong to other countries. We call them foreigners and discriminate them and fight with them also. The poet says that nature has given all the bounties to all people, also just like he has given to us. Everyone gets sunlight, air, and water in equal measures, which means that God doesn't differentiate between people from different countries. We all do farming during the times of peace when there is no war. We live a relaxed life and eat the things given to us by nature. Further, he adds that the way we starve during wars and winter time is the same for those belonging to other countries. Even they don't get food at that time. So he wants to say that foreigners who belong to another country and we both are same. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. So he wants to say that the foreigners who belong to another country and we both are same, and even their hands are same as ours. They work very hard just like we do. He's giving all these examples to convey to the reader that there is no difference in us and the people belonging to another country. So here again, there's a poetic device that is metaphor. War time is compared to the winter time, winter season, war, when there's a scarcity of food. And peaceful harvest. Peaceful, it is not the harvest that is peaceful, it is the environment of the country that is peaceful. So this is here transfer epithet. And here, war long winter. WW sound is repeated. This is alliteration. Remember, they have eyes like ours that wake or sleep, and strength that can be won by love. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. The poet asks the reader to remember something. He says that we should keep in mind that people of another country whom we think to be our enemies have been bestowed by God with similar appearance like us. God has given them eyes like ours, which open when awake and close when we are asleep. Similarly, He has given them strength which we can win through love. Then He says that in every country, in every land, there is one common thing, that is life. Life means all the things that are living, and if we can recognize them and if we can understand their feelings and realize that they are like us, then there will be no fight or war between us. Let's find out the literary devices here. Here again, sleep, strength, alliteration. In every land, common life, whenever we are told, whenever we, so it is here, ww sound is repeated, so this is here alliteration, and remember is repeated again and again, so this is here repetition. Let's remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispose, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other. So here, disposes here means that we shall disposes. Deprive means dislodge, means stop others to have access to something. Betray means we cheat. So the poet says that we should remember that whenever someone tells us to hate a person from another country, to think him as our enemy. And whenever we think someone to be our enemy, then we deprive ourselves. We cheat ourselves. We condemn. Condemn means we hate ourselves. He says that we should stay away from such negativity. We should not consider anyone to be our enemy. During a war, both the parties must bear the loss. And that is why the poet says that war is not in our favor. War is not in our favor. He says that whenever we pick any weapon against someone, we should remember one thing, that we are also going to be hurt in other way. So here, whenever we is here, alliteration, and the whole poem, the word remember is repeated. So this is repetition. It is the human earth that we defile. Our hells of fire and dust outrace the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign and no country strange. Defile means here make dirty, pollute. And here, outrage of innocence. Outrage of innocence means we violate the purity of innocence, innocent heart. We violate the purity of innocent heart. So we should keep in mind that whenever we pick weapons against any person, we make the earth dirty, because weapons kill people and their bodies which fall on earth make it dirty. Whenever war happens, it leads to a lot of bloodshed, fire and death. These dead bodies accumulate on the earth and it makes it impure. The fire of war which erupts, the smoke which comes out, the dust which fills the air, it is so dirty that it pollutes and outrages the purity of the air. With all these things, the poet wants to give us a message that we should not indulge in war. Finally, he ends the poem by writing the first line in reverse and saying that remember, no men are foreign and no country strange. Now let's find out the poetic devices here. Again, here remember word is repeated in the entire poem. So this is repetition. And here when he compare war with hell, hell's of fire means war with hell. So this is here metaphor. Now let's students find out the central idea of the poem. The central of the poem is that the poet tells us not to distinguish between people on the basis of their appearances, religion, and region. People of the whole world are brothers. All people are born, wear clothes, eat food, and at last die and buried in the same earth. All of us have same kind of body parts. But it is we who defile the earth by hating and fighting with each other. It is we who pollute the air that we all breathe to serve our purpose and without taking into consideration its bad impact on other people. So live and let live others. Thank you, students.